And with that, the 2022 season comes to an end. Good night.
So hello everyone. Today I have Sarvagya brother on my channel, and soon you will get to know about him. But more importantly, thank you so much, Sarvagya, for being here today.
Thank you, Chinmay, for having me. It's lovely to be a part of your channel
Yeah.
and
Uh,
be a
so
part of
uh,
your series.
yeah. So I know Sarvagya, but I want Sarvagya to give a short introduction about himself. So just go on, Sarvagya.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Sarvagya. I'm 20 years old. I'm from India, and I do speed cubing, which is solving Rubik's cubes. So I'm somewhat good at that. I have 3 Guinness World Records for that.
Somewhat.
Another another thing I'm good at is I like exploring about businesses and startups. So I'm into that as well. When I was 16, I was able to like leverage my talent for the Rubik's cube and start my own online Rubik's cube learning platform, and then another I like to basically explore and try out as many new things as I can. So I'm into public speaking as well. Now I've given 2 TED talks and I regularly go speak at colleges and events. So that's a little bit about me. I'm just a 20-year-old who's exploring his options and seeing
That is
where
important.
things
He
take.
is just 20 and he has done some amazing things. Like even I am inspired by him. So that's like 3 times Guinness Book of World Record. It is fascinating. Yeah. So I'm very curious, Sarvagya. So let me go and ask you very first question, Sarvagya, which I am very curious about, and that is just take us through your journey. And I want to highlight those instances जहाँ पे आपको लगा कि इस रूबिक क्यूब को ना एक ट्राई कर दे, आई गिव इट अ शॉट. तो आपको क्या एनकरेज किया, मतलब वो वो जर्नी पे मतलब लैंड करने में. जस्ट टेल अस अबाउट दैट.
Okay, so from a young age, I was always the kid who was into like multiple things. I tried everything. Card magic karta tha, origami, paper origami figures. I used to make that. I used to play sports. But like I always used to do things, but never was really the best or good at them. Right? I did everything, but you have to be good at something. And I see explore karte one thing. My dad bought me a Rubik's cube, so I got into it, and then I figured out I was obsessed with it. So I used to watch videos on YouTube and stuff, and then I found out that people can solve this really fast. So I wanted to do that. I spent a few years doing that, got a little bit better, and then started going to Rubik's Cube competitions. At first, it was like I had high hopes of my first competition. That okay, I'll go to the second round. I went with my friend Akshat, and we both didn't even qualify. So it was a 2 day competition, and we had to go back after the first day because we didn't even make it to the second round. That was like a big reality check. Like, okay, we're living in a small bubble. Like, there are people who are better than you. But then I continued doing it. I got faster as well. When I used to go to competitions, I used to meet a lot of people, make a lot of friends, right? Or there's everyone who has the same passion as you. So that was a good thing. And I was looking forward to these competitions. So I continued going to these competitions, continued cubing, started getting faster. Like the first 3 or 4 years of me competing, I never really even came close to winning. I used to go to these competitions, but like everyone around me was winning, my friends were winning, but I wasn't. And then I used to come back crying in front of my parents, like, man, I haven't won everything. And as a kid, I was like super disheartening at times. But what kept me going was that I loved the process, right? I had fun while solving Rubik's cubes, and I had fun. That's why I in it for so long. I when I started, or even right now, my goal isn't that I want to get achievements for fun. So I used to do this. 2017, I got my first medal, got better, started winning a bit. And then in 2019, I broke my first Guinness World Record. Since then, the journey has been thankfully good. We've been able to break 2 more Guinness World Records. We ventured, and because of Rubik's Cube, I ventured out into different things as well, like entrepreneurship, public speaking, and basically like going to competitions has helped me shape myself. It helped me like take me out of that introverted bubble. I used to go communicate with people I don't know, right? I used to go to these events on my own, and it helped me basically gave me a personality and like helped me to turn more into an extrovert. So that's a good part. So that's how my journey has been. And right now I'm doing the same thing, just trying many things and seeing what works for me, what doesn't. So
Are
that's
you
my journey.
are you still an introvert?
I'm not an introvert anymore, but when I started, I was, because I
Yeah.
was very reserved as a kid. But now, so I don't know if it's because of competitions or whatever, but I find it easy to talk to new people. So now
Right,
I'm not an introvert.
right, right. Great, great, great. And you mentioned, Sarvagya, that there were some instances जहाँ पे it was very disheartening feeling. तो
Right.
वहां से राइज करना, लाइक कैसे, लाइक हम कर सकते हैं राइज, एक मतलब बहुत ज्यादा एक फेलियर को कैसे मैनेज कर सकते हैं?
Well, manage करने का मतलब यही है कि failures, so they're a part of the process. You cannot avoid. Like I
Mhm.
read a quote somewhere that you only don't fail if you never try. That's the only way you never fail.
Right,
Right? So failures are going to be a part of the process, and failures are important because only then you know what winning feels like. You're able to cherish the wins because you knew how much hard work you put, or how bad you felt when you were failing, right? But then looking back at it, if there weren't failures, I'm sure I wouldn't be where I am, or anyone wouldn't be where they are, right? So failures are a part. Just keep going, and you'll have to, like, when you fail, you are doing something wrong. So sit down, take time to realize that what am I doing wrong, work on your mistakes, and then build up from there, right?
right, right, right. And I loved when you said that you loved the process of doing all of that.
Yes.
It is so.
Right, because a lot of people come up to me, they're like, how do I get my kid to get faster to Rubik's Cube or anything? How do I get my kid into this? And the answer is always the same, that I never got into it because I wanted to be the best. I got into it because I was having fun, right? And having fun is what really matters at the end of the day.
Okay, okay. And also you mentioned that you tried some things, like different things, like before Rubik cubes. Did you tried some three, four things of different kind before getting into Rubik?
Yes, so yes, so I was a kid who was just exploring. I was into sports. I did athletics for a while. I did card magic.
Okay.
So I was the kid at family functions who had a deck of cards in his hand, right? I would go in front of everyone with and show them my card magic.
Right.
Origami figures, that was something I was like super into. I had this big box of paper origami figures I made. So
Right.
yes, those are the few things I tried.
Great, great, great.
Playing
Uh,
instruments, other.
right, right. And how did entrepreneurship happen to you? Like, what were those thoughts that encouraged you to start, learn to cubes?
I mean, I had, it was a summer project basically. I was in my summer
Okay.
vacations, and then it was like I was already good at solving Rubik's cubes, right? So my dad told me, why don't you just teach people how to do it? And summer activities, so a lot of parents are looking to enroll their kids into such activities. So the first thing I did was I made a banner. It had like my achievements on it, and I like pasted it in prominent places and hoping to get a lot of callbacks that people would want to learn the Rubik's Cube, but that wasn't the case at all. Then I was like, okay, I said I'm not gonna do this. I'm not getting any responses, and then my dad told me that basically every entrepreneur does fail. It's up to him or her if they want to go forward or not. And I'm not an entrepreneur still. It was just a small business at that time, right? So I was like, okay. Then what I did was I took a cube in my hand. I used to go to shop owners with the cube in my hand. So I realized that a lot of people come to those shops, right? So word of mouth, things do sell from word of mouth.
Right.
So I took my cube, I showed him I can solve the cube. It was like amazing. So I did that. I went to two, three shops, put my banner up there. I got a few people from there. And after that, even after that, I was like 4 or 5 people only. So I was like, there's too little, like too much of my time to invest and too little I'm getting out of it. I wanted to quit again, but then again, my dad said just give it another shot. So me and my friend, we took our cycles and went door to door with a cube and a pamphlet in my hand. And then I was able to get a like we like all the houses of a sector. We went there. We were able to get a few students. So that was how the first year went. And after that, people were learning, ki, okay, he's solving it. So I decided to build a website. I made a website and then made an online. I did that for a while, but then I had to like prioritize on teaching or making records, getting faster at it. So I chose the other option. That's how I entered into it basically.
Right, right. And I'm sure you have learned a lot of lessons in this journey, like what is entrepreneurship, the fundamentals of marketing, branding, fundamentals, and each and everything.
I mean, not exactly because it
Okay.
wasn't like a big project, right?
Okay.
But yes, I've learned like a few important things that people, like as I said, that people will buy something if they
Right.
hear it
Right.
from
Right.
like word of mouth. Actually, what works. I used to go with a cue in my hand and show them. So that's that. And another thing I've learned is like if you keep trying, you will get whatever you want. I mean, just be persistent at it and you will get results. So, yeah, those are the things I've learned.
Awesome perspective. Okay. Okay. So now, Sarvagya, let's talk about career development. So there is one question that everyone is looking to figure out, that कि मेरा इंटरेस्ट किस में, मतलब किस चीज में इंटरेस्ट है. तो everyone is trying to figure out so early what exactly they want to do in their next 20 years or 30 years. So what do you think is the process of figuring out that XYZ job or XYZ passion? What do you think is the process?
So, honestly, I right now don't know what I want to do with my life as well.
Okay.
But what I would advise someone is to, and what I'm doing myself is just to try out many things, right? Put your hands into as many places as you can. Try this thing. If it doesn't work, move on to the next. Keep trying until you find something that works out for you, right? And
Right.
even if you try something and fail, you will learn something. And like
Exactly.
how the only way to know if you actually like something or not is by trying it, right? It's the same goes for the food we eat. We try it first before if deciding. So same, just try multiple things. You will eventually find out what you like to do or not. And then another way of this could be just doing a SWOT analysis of yourself, like figuring out what things you're good at, what things you're not, and then going from there, like, okay, these are my strengths, so I could possibly explore something in this domain. So
Right.
that's my
Exactly.
point.
And that is what you did. Like you tried different things like magic, like cards, magic with cards, and other different things. And then you got the Rubik cube in your hand. You also
Yeah,
tried
so
different things.
exploring was that. Yeah. I
Right.
wasn't finding anything. I was just a kid who was trying multiple things, and it
Yeah.
stumbled onto me. So you never know what may stumble upon you. Yep.
Right. 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 And can you talk about this growth mindset versus fixed mindset? That how can growth mindset upskill or uplift ourselves in career? What is the importance of having a
Right.
growth mindset? Yeah, just talk about it.
Yeah, so growth mindset and fixed mindset, like fixed mindset, growth mindset is thinking of how can I do this? And fixed mindset is if even if I can I even do this? So if you go through a fixed mindset, it's like you're roadblocking yourself, like, okay, I don't think I can do this. But growth mindset is like finding a solution, like how can I work around this problem? I talked about it in my TED talk as well. So basically just explore, like, if you think hard enough, or if you like any problem, I guess, to sit with it and think about it. Okay, this is the problem. Why did it arise? What steps could I do to basically, now the problem has come, so there's no way of it. Like one thing we could do is, what if this never happened? But that's the truth is it already happened, so we have to work around it, right? So now think, what can I do moving forward to deal with this problem? And then basically work yourself up from there. That would be my answer to that question.
Right, right. And Saurabh, do you have this habit of writing things, journaling?
Yes, I picked it up last year only, so I do journal, and I also, like, one advice someone gave to me was keep an idea list of yourself. So keep thinking about things like I could do this or I could start this, and then I do write quite often. So yes, it helps you reflect on yourself.
Yeah, and it brings immense clarity. Like बहुत clutter होता है
Yeah,
दिमाग में. When you just write things down, it's basically a slowest form of expression of our thoughts. So I think
yeah,
everyone should follow this practice. Right, right, right.
right.
एंड करियर में जब हम एक्सप्लोर करते हैं व्हेन वी ट्राई डिफरेंट थिंग्स, देर आर इंस्टेंसेस व्हेन देर आर पीपल जो कि उस फील्ड में एक्सपर्ट है, एंड आई थिंक हर एक को ना एक एटीट्यूड डेवलप करना चाहिए टू आस्क हेल्प. जब तक हम इनिशिएट नहीं करेंगे कॉन्वर्जेशन,
Right,
इफ यू डोंट आस्क द आंसर इज नो.
right.
आपको
Always know,
ऐसे
yeah.
कभी एक्सपीरियंस हुआ है ऐसा कि आपने इनिशिएट किया कन्वर्सेशन एंड द रिजल्ट्स वेर अमेजिंग? like you got results out of that conversation?
I like to believe that ask and you shall receive. Like मेरी life में तो बहुत चीजें ऐसी हुई हैं that simply happened because of me asking the person if I could do that thing or not. My first internship was I randomly DM'd the founder, and I was just a kid who had no experience. The only thing I could do was talk to someone in English, and he hired me from there. And I got my first sponsorship by asking a company that I want to break a record. You want to sponsor me? They said yes. So, and another a lot of things. My first public speaking opportunity was by asking. So, like,
Okay.
just put yourself out there and ask. And when you're asking, make sure you like you're not begging. You're asking. There's a difference between asking someone for something and just begging. Like, I could say, "Ki, hi, please just give me a job. I'm very desperate." Or I could say, "Hi, I have these skills. I could do this, and please, would you mind? What do you think? I need a job, so please give me a job." So there's a difference in that. So just put yourself out there, and what's wrong in asking a question, right? Just ask a question. Even if you weren't asking, you were hearing a no. And even if you ask someone and they give you a no, you're already at the same place, right? But what if they say yes? And it's only one yes that matters to us, right?
Right, right, exactly. And there is one skill. I believe that 85% of your career success is decided on this one particular skill, and that is communication skills.
Being
So,
able,
how an introvert, student can go on developing a basic, communication, skill. Like how one can, develop that skill.
okay, so first thing is like start small, like start in front of your family, your friends. Just try having good coming, like improving your communication skills. Reading could be an option, or like when you're starting out, just jump onto as many opportunities as you can. Be it something like speaking at a school assembly or speaking in a class presentation, right? Then like keep reading, ask people for feedback. If you think you're lacking, ask them for feedback. That would be the only way to do something is by actually going ahead and doing it, right? So
Right,
just try small and like do it, practice it in your day-to-day life, like with your friends, with your family, with other people around you, and then in front of a mirror. If you don't want to do it in front of anyone, do it in front of a mirror. Yes, so
right,
that's my advice.
right. And when you give your first public speak, were you nervous at your first public talk?
I was very nervous. Yes, I was very nervous. I was nervous to the point where I thought of running away from the stage, but that really wasn't an option, right? Before going on the stage, my legs were shivering. I was like, "Oh my God, what am I about to do?" But then once you start, you're like, "Okay, yeah," you start having fun, right? Like that, I started having fun when you started. So every time I go to speak, there is nervousness, but it's like when once you start, there's no stopping. Like initial nervous, it's okay to be a little nervous,
Right.
but just takes sometimes all it takes is that leap of courage, and after that, you will find out that what you wanted is on the other side of that initial leap.
Right, right, right. And here also, I think, writing can help you. If you write like a piece of paper
Yeah,
before going into stage, that will help you a lot to deliver a speech properly.
right,
Right, right.
correct.
And there is one thing that is confidence, which plays a lot role. So, what do you think, Savagya? What are the pillars of confidence, like building a confidence? What are some pillars according to you that can shape your confidence?
The pillars of I mean, just be like present yourself in a good way, and be like you have to be your biggest believer, right? If you think that you're not worth it, people will definitely think you're not worth it. Even if you don't have the skills, even if everyone else in the room is better than you, just think that I'm the best, okay? This may be like not exactly I'm the best, or just have faith in yourself, right? And then just present yourself in a good way. Don't be afraid to make a fool out of yourself. We all do make a fool of ourselves, right? Failing is like sometimes you'll have to get laughed on by a few people before you find out what works, and then so that's basically my advice. Ultimately, I would say just be a big believer of yourself and have belief on yourself. Like the only person you need to convince is yourself. After that, everything works out, right? And if you're confident in yourself, like think to yourself, if someone's talking to you and you're not confident, would you want to have that conversation? The answer is not, is no, right? You don't want to have it. So present yourself in a way that you want others to be looking at you as. So, yep.
Right, right. So, Savagya, my last question to you is, how can one think of building a world record? Like, what is that mindset? What is that belief system? Just tell us about that.
I mean, the first step is thinking you can. So if you do that, you're already like you're halfway there, right? And then finding things you're good at, and then working towards something like, okay, I found I want to do this specific thing, then putting the effort in. Like you won't get things if you don't put in the hard work and time in, right? So keep doing that. You will fail a bit, but that's okay. It's just part of the process. Keep going at it, and eventually you will see yourself getting closer and closer to your goal. And even if you're not getting close, then identify you might be making some mistakes. We all make mistakes. I made mistakes, so work on them, work from there, and build them up. And then like eventually when you put in the right time and effort, you do see yourself making some progress. So when you make progress, you're getting closer to your step, right? So if you put in the work, you will get where you want to be. So yes, that would be
Right,
the
right,
journey.
राइट एंड लाइक जो मतलब जो एक स्टूडेंट जो कि बहुत अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट फील करता है, अगर वो सोचे तो कैन ही ब्रेक द रिकॉर्ड्स
Yes, I
इफ
mean
ही
we all
डिसाइडेड?
can do anything. I mean, we all can do anything we want to, right? Never say never is what I like to do. Like, you never know what may end up working for you, right? So it's just you keep trying, keep working, and then yes, eventually you will get better. Like, just don't think that I cannot do this because that's most certainly not the case. So yeah.
अच्छा, आपने सोचा था कभी ऐसे मतलब वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड बनाने से पहले, लाइक रूबिक क्यूब जब हाथ में आया आपके, तब आपने कुछ सोचा था कि मैं 3 टाइम्स इसको मतलब वो करूंगा, ब्रेक करूंगा वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड?
मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था like the journey has been crazy. It's like surreal that now I'm at a point where I am. But when I first started, I could never imagine. Like I had no clue. But again, that's the thing. Like universe has its own plans for you, right? So when I'm here now, I'm super grateful for the journey, and I could never think. But down the line, I think everything's written. So yep, everything does happen.
राइट, राइट, ऑसम, ऑसम। सो थैंक यू सो मच सौभाग्य ब्रदर। बहुत ही
Thank you so
अमेजिंग
much.
कन्वर्सेशन रहा एंड आई एम श्योर यू नो बहुत लोग इससे इंस्पायर होंगे इस कन्वर्सेशन से, बिकॉज यू आर डूइंग वंडरफुल जॉब।
Thank you, Chinmay. Thank you for having me. It was lovely talking to you.
या थैंक यू सो मच, या थैंक यू, या।
Thank you.